Hello everybody, welcome to my channel for another weekly tarot reading. How's your 2015 going so far this year? Mine is really interesting. I'm feeling so much powerful energy in the air this year, and it seems like a lot of little synchronicities are going on, just weird, strange, kind of delightful little things are happening. I think this is shaping up to be a very interesting year for a lot of us. Anyway, this week I'm using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck, and the card on the left represents the beginning of the week, card in the middle is the middle of the week, and card on the right represents the weekend. So let's see what this week has in store for us. Okay, so for the beginning of the week, we get the Six of Earth, and the message on the bottom of that card, which is the Six of Pentacles in this deck. And the message on the bottom of the card says, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off debts. That's a nice card to get, huh? So yeah, the card, the Rider-Waite version of this card shows a man who is like, looks like a wealthy merchant. And he's giving money to beggars who are kneeling on the ground in front of him. So this card is very often thought of as both a giving and receiving card. It's about giving to other people, giving freely, not giving because it's like an obligation or because it's a duty, you know, or you're just doing it to look good, but really giving, truly giving from your heart, you know, because you want to give. In the Rider-Waite version of the card, you know, it's often said that you can be either in the giving position, you can be the one giving to somebody, or you can be the one receiving. You can be receiving money or time or something from somebody. So it looks like the beginning of the week could see us getting an unexpected something nice coming into us, whether it's a gift of money, a loan of money, maybe we'll be offered a job, maybe somebody who we've wanted to spend time with will free up some time for us, or will free up some time for somebody else. Maybe there's somebody in your life who's, you know, been asking to talk to you, you know, to get your advice, or just, you know, to kind of blow off steam with you, you know, if it's a friend, and you'll give them, you know, your time, or they'll give you theirs, you know. Either way, this is a very nice card. This has a lot of nice energy about it, and I love the picture on this card of this, this looks like this fairy with these beautiful iridescent wings, and the swing set with the baskets full of money on either side. You know, it's just a really nice, prosperous, you know, unstressful kind of, you know, energy in this card. It's like there's nothing to worry about. Either somebody's going to give to you, and, you know, if you had money worries, it'll help a lot, or you're going to help somebody else out. You know, maybe somebody will ask you for a loan, and you're going to have the ability to loan them that money because you have extra, and you're willing to give it to them. But remember, this card is about, you know, giving from your heart, you know, really truly giving because you want to give, not because you feel obligated, you know. And also receiving, you know, knowing that there's no shame, or a lot of people are embarrassed, right? Like they feel like they're taking charity if they need a loan from somebody or something. No, just that person is going to want to give to you. So just accept it, and when you can, give back, right? So anyway, that's a nice way to start the week. Let's see what we get for the middle of the week. And we get the Five of Water. This would be the Five of Cups in the Rider-Waite version. And this card says, hang on, let me just take a closer look here. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, crying over spilled milk. And we see these cups. It looks like they're underwater, they're submerged, there's light coming through, but the water is kind of murky looking and dark. So again, in the Rider-Waite version of this card, we see a figure in the foreground who is looking quite depressed and down and sad and lonely, and staring down at these two or three spilled cups on the ground, but there are two behind him that are still standing. And this card is about kind of focusing on the negative. You know, it's like saying that you are focusing way too much on the bad side of a situation. You're kind of feeling sorry for yourself. You know, allowing yourself to kind of go into that downward spiral, which is never good, you know. You know, we all go through times when we're disappointed, when things don't work out the way we want. And, you know, if we just keep thinking about what didn't work out, we can really get ourselves into a bad place, and we can stay there for a long time. So it's much better to look at the positive in the situation. In this case, the cups that are still standing. And the ones that are still standing in this card they have the light shining in on them, right? That are really kind of spotlighting them. And the two in the foreground are just like, you know, they're sunken over and submerged in the water there. So look on the bright side of things. If you're feeling, you know, kind of down in the middle of the week, if you feel like things haven't turned out the way you wanted them to or expected them to, sure, it's natural to feel disappointed. It's natural to feel upset. You know, this often signifies a breakup, a relationship breakup, and you know, just really feeling like you can't get over it, like you're really missing the person and you don't know how you're going to get on without them. You know, you will, believe me. Time heals all wounds, right? And if you want to look on the positive side of a breakup, if that's the case with you, think about all the good times that you had with the person. And if you didn't have any good times with the person, then you're lucky to be out of that relationship. That's a good thing. You don't want to be in a relationship where there's no good times, right? So, you know, just focus on the positive whenever you can. That's always the healthiest mental state to be in. You know, because living from a positive outlook is far better than looking at life from a negative outlook. That is for sure. So let's see what we get for the weekend. Oh, and we got the High Priestess, Major Arcana. And the message at the bottom of this card says, listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. So the High Priestess is all about intuition. She's about tuning in. Sorry about the glare. She's about tuning in to that inner side of you that knows all the answers, because we really all do know all the answers. They're in our subconscious. You know, even though we might not be consciously aware of the answers, they are there. And if you really allow yourself to, you know, withdraw a little bit, get quiet, take some time for yourself, get away from the noise and the bustle, and meditate, or just go to a quiet place by yourself and think, you know, whether it's a park or the bathtub or wherever you feel nice and comfortable and where you won't be interrupted, and when you know you're going to have some alone time to just think and process things. And if there is a pressing question on your mind, if there's something that you're trying to figure out, you know, ask that question, put it out to the universe, put it out to your higher self, your High Priestess, that High Priestess within you, and you will get an answer. You know, a lot of us are in denial. You know, a lot of us already know what the answer is, but we either don't feel ready to face it, or, you know, we feel we can't face it for whatever reason. And, you know, things have to be faced sooner or later, right? If there is a pressing situation. So better to deal with it in a timely fashion than let it go on and on and on. Pardon me. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to sneeze. Didn't want to do that on camera. So anyway, yeah, just take the time to tune into yourself, listen very carefully, and, you know, like the card says, you don't have to act right away. You don't have to act on anything. Just listen. Just listen. Just pose the question to yourself and just listen and think about it. And make the decision when you know it's time to make the decision. And she will tell you that as well. Your High Priestess will tell you when it is time to act. But she does know all the answers. You know all the answers. And just you need to go into that place, into that quiet space within you and find that answer that you're searching for. Okay, so let's look at these cards all together for a moment. Okay, so since this week is starting out in an earthly fashion with the Six of Pentacles or Six of Earth, to me, this card is about, this reading is about giving or receiving at the beginning of the week. So we could find ourselves in a position to, be needing something from somebody. Maybe we just lost a job, or maybe we just went through a relationship breakup and we're feeling really raw and just kind of out of sorts. And we need either, maybe some financial help, or we need some emotional support from somebody, or there's somebody in our life who's going through something like that, and we're in the position to give that to them. And the middle card, the 5 of water, 5 of cups, in other words, it's about, feeling like you're in a really murky place, or the other person in this case, if it's somebody in your life who's going through a bad situation, feeling like they're in that really difficult space and just not seeing the positive in the situation. So if this is you, or if this is somebody in your life going through this, just always, always, always focus on the positive. Stop looking at the bad. Stop looking at what went wrong. Stop looking at how terrible you feel, and focus on the positives in the situation. If it's a breakup, it means you're single. It means you're free to go out and meet new people. You're free to go out and meet that person who is better for you than that last person was. Or if you just lost a job, there's a better job for you out there, right? There's always a positive in every situation, and you need to focus on that rather than focusing on the negative. And the High Priestess at the end of the week is just reinforcing that. It's just saying that, the answer is there. The answer to the situation is there. You just need to tune into her, tune into that inner wisdom that we all have within us, and listen for the answers. You don't have to act. This is not a card about action. It's a card about introspection and just listening and receptivity, being receptive to what comes to you and what is, the wisdom inside you. And we do all have all the answers. We just need to be in the right headspace to be able to hear those answers. And we'll know when the time is right to act on them. So anyway, this looks like a very interesting week. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a good week. If you are interested in getting a reading from me, I will post a link to a video I did about my services below. I'm really starting to get down to my tarot business and get it going. So right now I am offering a sort of buy one, get free reading. So if you were to order a 3-card reading from me, that means you can get a free 3-card reading at any other time throughout the year. Or if you order a 10-card reading, same thing, you would get a free 10-card reading. So if you're interested in that, I will post all the information below. Please contact me, and I would love to work with you and the cards. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.